Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction and haunted entertainment industry. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we are tired.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to hide it. I'm not even going to pretend. We're exhausted. Our haunt, I know most of you have had your haunts open for some time. Ours opens in about 5 days from recording. It has been a slavish week out there in the haunt.
Yeah.
Not getting any break from the New Orleans heat. I don't know what the hell is going on with this quote-unquote autumn I was promised. This fall that still is seeing freaking middle 80s temperatures every damn day and every damn night.
Yeah.
We're out there.
It was nice earlier because right before it rained, it was really cold.
Yeah, and then it rained and then it got hot again because, fuck you, this is New Orleans. This is how it is. I mean, what the hell, Mm-hmm. But yes, thank you very much for agreeing to spend another hour with us. We're glad to have you. Hope your haunt season is going well.
Yes, and we know that a lot of you are tired also because acting and maintaining haunts during the thing.
And running and operating and all
everything
that.
Oh,
it's so exhausting.
But it's so worth it.
There's nothing in this industry that's easy.
No.
Nothing in this industry is easy. But, as usual, we'd like to remind you where you can find us and follow us. We are, of course, at hauntweekly.com. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Haunt Weekly. And also, tinyurl.com/hauntweekly will take you to our YouTube channel, where you can not only trivially get caught up on past episodes, but follow us and we have neat little lists and stuff there to better organize our shows. Things we can't do on the podcast that we normally do. So check that out and enjoy that. Also give us a subscribe, and that's going to be really important in just a minute.
Right.
Because we have to have a talk real fast before we jump into this week's topic. This is episode 99.
Yep.
That means episode 100.
Yes, episode 100.
It's coming up next week.
Yes.
Oh, God. What the hell were we thinking?
Well, it was your idea to start it when we did, so...
Shut up. I didn't count
I'm putting this all on you.
Alright, look, we would love to do a big blowout shebang thing, ramalama ding dong, on episode 100, but it will literally be going out October 30th.
Right.
That ain't happening. Just tell me straight.
No.
So here's the current plan right now. We do want to do something special. We do want to do something. So normally episode 100, that's a divisible by 4, would be a news episode.
Right.
We're not doing the news.
Yeah.
So that's because news episodes take about 3 times the time in order to... 3 times the... Lord Jonathan. 3x the time to do, to prep. But also because it just doesn't feel right to make it an ordinary news episode. So we'll catch up on the news in 104.
Right.
That'll be fine. There's a lot of great stuff going on. It's been a bit busy season. Lots of interesting stuff. We'll talk about it later.
Yep.
We'll come around to it later. If there's anything urgent, we'll touch on it then. But yeah, this is terrible timing for all the obvious reasons. We're busy, you're busy. Normally, last year, we pre-recorded like 3 episodes.
Right.
Just so we didn't have to do any recordings.
Right.
Not really practical this go around. So what we're doing is we are going to do a episode that's special in that it will be live. It will be our first live episode. This is totally an experiment. I have no idea if anyone's going to show up.
Right.
I have no idea if we'll just be talking to ourselves and completely ignoring the fact that we're live. But yeah, we will be doing this one live on YouTube. Once again, tinyurl.com/hauntweekly gets you to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
And it'll be live. And I think we're shooting for sometime like 4 p.m. Central Time on Sunday. It's 5 p.m. Eastern.
Right, on October 30th.
On October 30th, yeah.
Yep.
We'll do it. We're doing
October 29th.
The day before.
Yes.
Sorry. You got me confused.
Sorry, you confused me.
October 29th at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, and whatever the flip it is in Greenwich Mean Time. Time zones freak me out, okay? Time zones scare me. But anyways, the point is we'll be doing it then. It'll be live on our YouTube channel. And subscribers will get alerts about it. And the idea is we're going to do an hour on what Halloween means to us.
Right.
Now, we've already talked in previous episodes about our past. I'm sure we'll repeat and touch on some of that again.
Yeah.
But this is more about why we think Halloween is so amazing, why we think it's worth protecting. And honestly, we'll probably be talking a little bit about the actual war on Halloween. That is actually...
and why we are, still into it as adults, even though we don't have kids.
Yes.
So...
yeah, we're those guys. So yes, we will do that as our actual 100th episode. That way, something special there.
Right.
Then we'll do the big blowout sometime later. We'll bring Japes. We'll bring everyone else back. We'll bring everyone we can. Sylvie, all the people we've had on the podcast previously. We're going to try to bring as many of them as we can back to talk about things. Maybe some new people. Who knows?
Yeah.
We got to send out the invites, but we're waiting until after haunt season because we can't get a hold of nobody right now.
Well, yeah, we can barely get a hold of ourselves. So. There's that.
Here's a pro tip. Don't message Japes right now. Expect a response.
No, he's fine.
He's a wonderful guy, but no, I don't expect a response from him right now.
Yeah, but you haven't tried it, so he may get offended by that.
That's fair enough. But anyways, we're not trying it because we don't expect responses, is what I'm trying to get at. Don't message haunters, period, and right now. We know what's going on.
What if it's important?
Nothing's more important than haunting, sweetheart. You know this. So yeah, what we're going to do is that's going to be our 100th episode, and then we'll do something else a little bit later. That's the plan. Plans change. Cards subject to change. There are no refunds if it doesn't happen.
And if anyone does join us for that live episode, we will be able to take your questions.
Yes, we will have a chat box open. We will work on having a chat open where you can message us your thoughts and ideas, and we can communicate and do it live, as Bill O'Reilly once so famously said.
Yes.
Okay, other news from us. Real fast. We will be doing a video walkthrough of our haunt.
Right.
We bought the goddamn camera. We're doing a walkthrough.
It's pretty obvious from how much more
swearing there is. That we're exhausted and done. Sorry about that, y'all. But yes, we will be doing a video walkthrough of the haunt. It will be a 360 walkthrough.
Right. Like the yard display that we put out already.
We put it up on our Haunt Weekly. We put it up on our main... yeah, but we're doing a video of the haunt. That will be going up on the YouTube channel. Once again, tinyurl.com/hauntweekly. And so, after season, you'll be able to catch that there. And so, like you said, we've already shared 360 photos of our yard display, daytime and nighttime photos. You can see it lights on, lights off.
Right.
All that stuff. All right, that's it for us news. You want to do conference reminders real fast?
We should.
And get these over with? All right, I'll kick it off this week, so I'm feeling feisty. First off, coming up right after season, November 9th through 11th, it's the Legendary Haunt Tour in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the Crown Plaza, Philadelphia. They'll be touring the Field of Screams, the Bates Motel and Haunted Hayride, and Reaper's Revenge, among more, probably. LegendaryHauntTour.com for more info.
And then January 12th through the 15th, if you're going to be in town for HauntCon Halloween and Party Expo in New Orleans, let us know. We want to do something with everyone.
Something that probably will involve beer.
Yes, and maybe zombie makeup.
Or then months of stuff. I don't know. We haven't figured it out yet.
Maybe late birthday party. That would be fun.
That would, yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
It's close enough to your birthday. We can actually say that.
Yes. So it'll be at the Ernest Morial Convention Center. And you can find out more about that at hauntcon.com. Remember, get in touch with us if you are going to be in town. We would love to hang out.
Yes. All right. After that, it's Trans World's Halloween and Attraction Show in St. Louis, Missouri, March 22nd to 25th at the America Center. Honestly, we could just copy and paste the notes from last year.
Yeah.
And learn more at the HA Show. That's HAASHOW.com.
Then, April 13th through 15th, it's West Coast Haunters Convention in Portland, Oregon, at the Doubletree Hotel, Portland. I think that was the same hotel last year.
I think it was.
HauntersConvention.com.
At some point, they're just going to listen to old episodes for these and get the exact same reminders.
Yeah, the dates change, but...
Not much else.
Yeah.
All right,
once you find a home, you kind of want to stay there.
Well, yeah, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not a criticism. It's just an observation.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to try this one breath. Next is the Halloween Show and National Haunters Convention presents Halloween Boardwalk Empire. Well, not bad. No. At Atlantic City, New Jersey, it's May 18th through 20th at the Showboat Convention Center. Learn more at HalloweenShow.com.
And then, May 25th through the 27th, it's Midwest Haunters Convention in Columbus, Ohio. At the Greater Columbus Convention Center, MidwestHauntersConvention.com for more info on that.
And that gets us through May, kiddies. We'll be adding June, July, and August very shortly.
Yes.
So, as we mentioned in the previous episode, we spent some crazy, crazy nights in Atlanta.
Right.
We spent 4 nights on the trip, 3 of them in Atlanta, and we saw a total of 9 haunted attractions, including, and this is the crazy part, 7 in 2 nights.
Right.
What the hell were we thinking?
We were thinking, ooh, haunted houses. We should go to all of them.
Oh, man, it's not Pokemon.
No, it's more fun.
Oh, God. But yes. Now, previous episode, we talked about the haunts we went to, some abstract thoughts. We tried not to make it too reviewy and then failed absolutely completely. Mm-hmm. But yes, this time around, we wanted to talk a little bit about sort of the lessons we learned, the things we gleaned from that. Now, a lot of these lessons have more to do with the fact that we did 7 haunts in 2 nights.
Right.
Than anything specific to Atlanta.
Right. Well, and the thing is that I can see a lot of people doing the same thing because, they're so close together.
Yeah. And that's one of the things is, when we did 4 haunts in one night.
Right.
Hey, what were we thinking? Seriously.
We were thinking, hey, we've got another 30 minutes before the next one closes.
We can make it to Camp Blood in time.
Yes. Hi, guys. Love my doll.
Doll is awesome, yes. But our sanity is in question.
That's been in question a long time.
You guys do a podcast on haunted attractions? Sign them up for the loony bin.
Yep.
But yes. So anyways, we wanted to talk about some of the things we noticed broadly.
Right.
Not specific to any haunt. In fact, all of these impact, they touch on multiple haunts on this trip, and basically they look at, and there's also a lot of contrast and compare going on here. So the idea is sort of the takeaways we had from this trip, not just things specific to Atlanta, but things specific to doing so many haunts back to back to back to back, and being able to see patterns in what worked, what didn't work.
Right.
And I think lesson 1's the big one.
Yeah.
So if you take away nothing else from this episode, if you switch it off in 5 minutes, you'll have learned the key point. And that is, guys, vary your scares.
Right.
Yeah, and this is one of those that definitely comes from doing so many haunts in a row.
Yeah.
And I realized the power of this that Friday night.
Right.
Where we did Netherworld first, and then we went on to other haunts.
Right.
The long short of it is Netherworld is a master class in varied scares.
Yeah.
That I think is more than anything, more than the big sets, more than the designs, more than the detail work, more than the guys hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
That is what makes Netherworld so effective, is that they never use the same scare twice in a row that I could discern.
Right.
I cannot, if they did it, I didn't spot it.
No.
But I spotted plenty of places where I never knew where the next scare was coming from.
Right.
Because this guy's got a drop panel. This guy's, a human statue.
Yeah.
This guy's popping around a corner. This guy's got, banging on sheet metal.
Flying through the air.
Flying through the air above you. They went old school. They went new school. They went side school. Mm-hmm. They went to reformatory school sometimes in that haunt.
God.
But that was just it, though. You go from room to room, and you can say the rooms were small. You can say various things,
But
you never knew what the scare was.
The other thing that they did really well is they had scares unique to them that were not at any of the other haunts in the area. So that's another way you can vary yourself, is make yourself unique.
But when we go to other haunts, and this is the contrasting compare part, and that's a good point. Now, if you have stuff that's unique to you, it's much easier,
right,
to vary your scares. It does make life a little more simple, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
But we would go to other haunts, and they would do the very, very smart, very, very right thing of giving actors multiple attack points.
Right.
Like, they give a guy a chance to pop out here, and then around a corner here, and then around a third corner, get him again.
Right.
And yeah, that's smart. That's good.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. But they gave him the same damn scare every time.
Yeah.
The one that, and I don't want to, unless I said, this isn't about trashing anyone or anything like that. That's not what we're about.
No.
But there was one haunt, like I said, we're not naming the names of the bad ones, because...
the
one...
less creative.
Well, it wasn't a bad haunt, the problem. It was a very good haunt, it just, this was an issue. Mm-hmm. But... They gave, I remember distinctly, they gave an actor one of the gas cans with rocks or nuts or something in it to shake like a maraca. Yes. Very, very loud, very classic JC era type scare. It works very well. And so we went with a family on this particular haunt. Yeah. And the family were the biggest scaredy cats I'd seen in a long time. Right. They were really reacting. So he pops out with that gas can, shakes it, pop, a big pop. Mm-hmm. They hit the floor practically. They're scared to death. Oh! Then they run the corner. He pops with the gas can again. Response is lessened. Third time, the family's more annoyed than they are scared. And by the fourth time, because I remember a couple times they gave him 4 pop-out points, they just didn't react at all. Yeah. When you use the same scare like that, especially back to back to back, it lessens the impact. So if you're going to have actors operate multiple points, make sure they have multiple things to do. Mm-hmm. It's very simple. Yes, I agree. Conserve your actors. Give them multiple attack points, but give them multiple things to do. Basically is what it comes down to. Right. And like I said...
and I'm just laughing at that because this year, I think we only have one actor that's going to do double duty. Usually we built like that, but, we've grown to where we can afford to have actors do one thing.
And that's one of the things that we like to play with the advantages we have as a home haunt. Right. And not the safety ones. It's not... We go fire code, baby. We do fire code. Yeah. But everything else, it's like, we have a tiny space and a lot of people who want to work with us. We don't have to double up our actors as much.
Yeah, now in the beginning, there were people who did three scares in a matter of a minute and a half. And they were all different scares.
Yeah, I mean, that was just it. One was a pop-out scare, one was a drop panel, one was a disappearing wall. Yeah. You know, they'd be different scares with very different results. Right. So, yeah. But yeah, vary your scares. Conserve your actors. And like I said, we're not very good case studies this year because we've got more actors and we have spots even without conserving our actors. Right. So... knock on wood, we're fully staffed this year. That's cardboard. I know, shut up.
Hey, it was wood at one point.
There's wood. I got wood on this side of me. Knock on wood, we're fully staffed and ready to rock. Okay. Lesson number 2. Whole room immersion. This was definitely an Atlanta thing. Yeah. Compared to New Orleans, this was awesome. And we saw this at damn near every haunt, it seemed like. Even the haunts that were like lower budget and smaller seemed to do this to some degree. But the idea is that rather than just building a panel-based haunt, they worked very hard to make sure the entire room felt complete. They would do things like, and I remember one haunt, and it's actually the same haunt we were kind of niggling on a minute ago. Right. With them using the same scare over and over again. They had this really awesome thing where you go into a room and the floorboards would be ever so slightly loose. Right. Not enough to create an ADA issue. No. That, but almost imperceptible. Right. Almost imperceptible. Like, I really had to pay attention to notice it. But it made it feel like I was actually in that shack. Right. Much more so than just putting up 4 walls and decorating well.
Yeah, no kidding.
It really gave to the illusion. In Netherworld, going back to it, they like to do things with the walls and the whole room where it was shaking, but while your floor was stationary. And that gave the whole environment, it made the whole environment a character almost.
Yeah.
The Atlanta area haunts, almost across the board, did a really good job making sure that the whole room felt complete. It wasn't just 4 walls and decoration. Mm-hmm. And even the better haunts in New Orleans will do that sometimes.
Right.
Where it's almost exclusively 4 walls and, if you're lucky, a partial ceiling.
Yeah.
New Orleans haunts like to do the fire sprinkler friendly ceiling.
Yeah.
Which is a good ceiling, don't get me wrong. We do it too.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is, I really did like how they used this whole immersion. They would do subtle things to make you think that you were there. Like I said, the floorboard one really got to me.
Right.
Because I remember walking into that room, and I don't remember stepping up a ramp either. If they did, it was imperceptible.
Yeah.
And then being on these floorboards that just ever so slightly creaked, it felt like you were in a shack that was falling apart.
It did.
It really gave you that illusion. Mm-hmm. All right. Lesson 3, something a little less positive that every damn haunt in Atlanta seemed to do. Whiteout mazes.
Right.
I had not actually seen a whiteout maze until the Atlanta trip.
Correct. I hadn't either.
I don't think I'd seen one. Basically, for those who don't know what a whiteout maze is, basically you take a room, you paint all the walls white, you flood it with light and fog.
Right.
And you use strobes and you use other things to disorientate and make it difficult for people to get out.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like Netherworld, their 3D attraction ended on one of these, a big one.
Yeah. And
at least half the haunts there had something similar.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Because nobody expects a whiteout
Nobody
maze.
expects a Spanish Inquisition.
Exactly. Nobody expects a whiteout maze, except if you're in an area where everybody has one.
Yeah, if I were in Atlanta, I sure as hell expect one.
Yeah, going back to that varying scares.
Well, and the problem I have with it personally is that it seems aimed to trigger every biological response someone can have in a haunt that's negative. You got people that have issues with fog. They're not going to do one in this room. Epileptics who don't like strobes. This room's terrible.
Yeah.
People who are claustrophobic and panic when they're thrown in situations where they're lost. They're going to have a tough time with this.
Yeah. And I mean, I understand wanting to put people off their game and stuff. But there are real issues that you're triggering for some people.
Yeah, these are biological issues, not fear issues.
Right.
You're triggering. And it's just, it was really frustrating and really, it really hurt, like, the love I had for some of these haunts. Because some of these haunts we were going through, and like the 3D haunt in Netherworld's an excellent example, had a great time in the haunt.
Yeah.
Absolutely great attraction. Get to that maze at the end, walk out, it's like, what was that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was that necessary?
And I don't want to, like, it's one of those things where I'm sure they have their reasons for it, but to me it felt like an attempt to pad it out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm the jerk here, very likely am, but I did not understand this, I didn't get this, and it seemed to be a thing that was all over the city.
Yeah, I really like the ones that use the white cloth much better. They're accessible to everyone. You get the same effect, basically.
Yeah, that was actually a lot better because there was no fog and no strobes.
Right.
But what you did is you hung, spaced about 2 feet apart.
Yeah.
Streamers of white cloth. So it was basically like running through a never-ending clothesline.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
It looked like those fucking laundry detergent commercials where you're running through fields on a clothesline. Felt like one of those. But you're right, it was much more accessible, and those actually were a little more fun, I think, and it was also tactile.
Right.
Because you're moving the cloth, you're doing stuff.
Right.
I bet it was easier to set up, too.
Probably.
Definitely lower budget.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really, really strange that this kept coming up in Atlanta. I don't understand it. There were, of the 9 haunts we went to in that trip, 8 in Atlanta, 1 in Birmingham, I think at least 5 had it.
Yeah.
5 or 6 had it.
Yeah.
It was so weird. It was like this random thing that caught on locally that I just did not enjoy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But, like I said, I would worry. We don't do any strobes in our haunt at all.
No.
We've refused to do strobes
Well, yeah, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, some of our actors have problems with strobes. So we're not going to put strobes in there because it is hard on the actors to work in strobe lights.
I've worked in strobe rooms before. It's rough.
Yeah.
And I'm not, like, epileptic or in any way susceptible.
Two, I personally think that they are a cheesy way to light a room, and I don't like them because they are, in my opinion, low quality.
So you're saying they're a crutch?
I am saying they're a crutch.
By the way, there's an episode upcoming about crutches in the haunt industry. We've been talking about this.
Yeah.
This is happening, and it's likely going to piss some people off.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Whatever.
It's our opinion, so you can take it or leave it.
It's just our opinion. You're free to ignore us. We usually do.
Yeah.
You won't be offended, believe me.
Yeah.
All right, lesson number 4. Moving on. I am hereby today doubling down on my dislike for touch haunts.
Okay, that's a bold statement.
It's not bold at all. And in our trip, we had 2 attractions that were touch. One was an aggressive touch. One was more of a light touch affair. Mm-hmm. And we've also done another light touch haunt since the Atlanta trip. One that we've been to before, the Rise's Asylum, has a light touch haunt. But we did one aggressive touch haunt.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I don't think we'd ever done a truly aggressive touch attraction.
Nope.
I did not find it significantly more scary or off-putting.
No, it was not.
I'm sorry.
No.
And part of the problem was, and this actually goes back to lesson 1 of Barrier Scares, because the haunt, what they did is you would go into a room, there would be an actor, they'd say some lines, and then they'd touch you.
Yep.
They'd grab your face, they'd touch your shoulders, whatever. And then you move on to the next room. Then they say some lines, and then they touch you. The first room, it's a little off-putting. By the 5th, it's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
It felt like a really bad doctor's exam.
Yeah. Yeah, you can only invade... I guess, invading personal space is a big deal for a lot of people. And I'm not really a fan of it. Well, I'm a fan of, like, people getting really close.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not talking necessarily like line actor invading personal space.
Right. Or even people in haunts.
Yeah.
But,
because, like, getting right up on someone, and that's invading personal space, that's a good thing. And we do like that.
Yeah. No, we do. We definitely do. But, yeah, it just seemed like it went on forever, and it goes back to that varying your scare, because if your scare is that somebody you don't know is going to touch you, then it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And honestly, the most disturbing touch that happened in line outside for me. Oh. It didn't happen in the haunt. It happened while we were waiting.
Oh, the actor that came up and...
Yeah.
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 You can tell the story.
Well, he came up and put his arm around me. That's fine. I'll tolerate that. Then he licked my cheek.
Yeah.
And that was weird.
I was trying to... I knew what you were talking about. Yeah. I was trying to set you up to tell the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, licking a cheek may be a bit much. And here's the thing about it. We actually had a talk with... we talked with 2 haunt owners about this exact issue over the course of the season.
Right.
And both have said they're not doing touch haunts because insurance...
Right.
...is cuckoo pants.
Yeah.
Basically with those. Because they're always getting sued. It's assault allegations, sexual assault allegations, increased chance of injury.
Right.
There's all these dangers that come with it. And it's not the automatic pants pooping thing.
No.
It doesn't automatically get the scare. In fact, the most aggressive one we went to, Nightmare 3008, the scariest moment they had for me didn't involve a touch.
Yeah.
They had an amazing distract and startle setup.
Yeah.
They had a guy way up in the damn ceiling. You look up, holy crap, that guy's high up, drop panel right beside you.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is such great tactics. No touch, no contact.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yep.
That was so beautiful. But yeah, touch haunts, I don't see the point anymore as a haunter.
And see, I am still on the fence, honestly. I know that they're a liability.
Well,
and I didn't like the really aggressive touch haunt. But I really like Asylum.
Yeah.
I like it because the touching isn't used as a scare usually.
No.
It is used to involve you in the scene.
Yeah, it's interactivity.
And that's a big difference.
Yeah, that is a big difference. I agree with that. A touch haunt where the touch is the scare.
Right.
I think that if you're going to use touch as the scare, don't have actors touching people. Use feathers, use things like that to get the impact. We're using, and this is actually one thing we're doing in our haunt this year, we're using rubber gloves that we have affixed to the wall to touch people.
Yeah.
They can't complain of sexual assault. Literally, it's stuffed with Rite Aid bags.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's stuffed with Rite Aid bags, man. It has no mind. Trust me. Haunting. Where Rite Aid bags become dismembered hands on arms. Dismembered hands on walls.
Yeah.
But yes. So yeah, I don't know. I was curious and on the fence about touch haunts. After these experiences on this trip, I am backing off. I'm further against them. Maybe an experience like we have not done Eastern State Pen. Maybe that could change my tune.
Right.
But where I sit right now, I don't think the risk outweighs the reward.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Especially if using touch as the scare, as you so noted. Using it as part of the interactivity is fine.
Yeah.
Using it to suck people in and make people more, involved in the story.
Right.
That's one thing. But even that, like I said, Asylum is a super light touch haunt. Well, maybe I shouldn't say super light touch.
No, it's not super light. I would say it's in the medium range.
Yeah, this year they were more hard touch than last year.
And it may have just been us. But...
It may have very well been us.
Yeah.
All right, lesson number 5 for me.
5.
5. Yes, I'm backing off my hatred for chainsaws a little bit.
Oh, well, that's news to everyone.
Okay, I have said a lot of mean things about chainsaws, and I do still believe they are a crutch in this industry that we rely on too heavily when we are too unable to come up with a better scare.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
But on this trip, I saw in one haunt actually, I saw it used well, and I saw it used poorly, and I realized chainsaws can have their place.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, in the same haunt, in one situation, they had a guy pop out with a chainsaw as it was a trail haunt, pops out with the chainsaws we're going by, and the 4 people that were in our group with us, they were in front of us.
Yeah.
They were gone.
Yep. We never saw them.
Never saw them again. Not even in the exit queue, nothing. Never saw them again. No idea. They might have actually been killed. For all we know, they're dead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's not the case.
I don't know. Did you see him again?
I did not.
Contrary?
I do not.
They might have killed him.
I did not see blood anywhere either.
That's fair enough. But, we saw blood all over the place. It was on. But yeah, and then later we saw it being used as a turnaround gag where you go into a hall and like the real exit comes up behind you, and that did not work.
Right.
Basically, my belief now is it has to be used in a situation where people can freely and safely run. Right.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And we saw chainsaws in Waterloo. Yeah. That were actually really well used. Yes. Because it was a dual attack, So, and that worked really well.
Well, and
so there are times where it can be effective.
Yes, and times where it is the best possible scare. Right. But it's too often used as a crutch in this industry. And I gotta say, and by the way, the reason, the turnaround gag doesn't work. Yeah. I'm gonna explain it very carefully. Let's just say for a second that our group was still with us. Right. That they had not napped off into the netherworld or whatever at that exact moment, but previously. So now you've got 4 people that are obviously very scared of chainsaws, with 2 people behind them who are less scared. Yeah. By like a significant margin.
We would have been.
So we're going down this narrow hallway, barely meeting the 36 inches. Guy with the chainsaw pops out. The people in front see it and wish to flee. We in the back do not see it and do not wish to flee. Yeah. We are either A, going to get trampled.
Yes, exactly.
Or B, this is going to be known as the Great Clusterfuck of 2017 pretty quickly. Yeah. One or the other is happening, and neither of them particularly good. Right. So, yeah, I really think that particular use of it was a bad one, but they had such a great use of it earlier.
Right.
The use of it in that camp sequence where they came out right in the side of the group. Perfect timing on the break.
Yep.
And those 4 of them were fucking gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I really wish we could have seen the chainsaw work correctly last night. The problem was we got too close up to another group. But the clown with the chainsaw was hiding inside of an abandoned refrigerator.
Yeah, that was actually pretty creative. I gotta give him that.
That would have looked really cool.
Literally the best thing about that haunt experience.
Yeah, I know.
Easily.
Yeah, and we didn't get to see it.
No, we didn't get to really see it, no. Alright, let's move on. Lesson 6. Focus on what makes your haunt unique.
Yes.
To others.
Yes.
Not to you, to your customers.
Right.
Now, this one we actually have to name names, unfortunately.
Okay.
Because there's 2 haunts that I have like polar opposite opinions on in my head right now. Freaks of Fear, which was the trail haunt we stumbled upon almost by accident.
Right.
And Nightmare's Gate, a pretty major haunt in the Atlanta area.
Yep.
By every metric, every rubric I can give you, Nightmare's Gate is the better haunt, better props, more actors,
Yeah.
better planned scares.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff. Freaks of Fear was a trail haunt. It was fine. It was good. It had some really great character actors out front.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was not necessarily going to be anything special by itself.
No.
But Freaks of Fear had the fucking bird, or whatever that was, the airplane,
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, it swooped down on us.
Yeah.
And that moment is so memorable, so stuck in my mind. We have not stopped singing the praises of Freaks of Fear since we left.
Right.
But Nightmare's Gate, even though they had all this great stuff, all these amazing props, they made us crawl.
Yeah.
And they made us squeeze through passages and do a lot of things we weren't really comfortable with and weren't really fun or interesting or scary.
Right.
That we haven't stopped saying negative things about it.
Right. It actually took a conscious effort to remember what their haunt was like outside of those moments.
Yeah, outside those moments, which were really just filler.
Yeah.
Like they had a great scene where you're going through like an office building type thing, or I can't remember, asylum, where they have like buzzsaws coming down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
It's so badass.
It is.
I loved it. And I totally forgot about it until you reminded me, because I was thinking, well, they made us crawl.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my thing too, is I'm like, okay, so what was the other part of the haunt? They also had the ship scene with the girl in the corset that was doing acrobatic stuff.
Yes, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so cool. But yet we went through 2 tart mazes. And, and that's what I remembered.
Yeah.
So I guess my tip here is talk to your customers as they leave. Say, what do you remember?
Yeah.
What stood out?
Right.
And if they say things that aren't the things you want to focus on,
right,
you do something different.
Yeah.
Change it up. Because you're not getting your point across. This is where you have to reach out to your customers, because I'm sure that Nightmare's Gate is like, oh, they're going to remember the saws coming, they're going to remember the acrobatics, they're going to remember all this stuff.
Right.
And we should.
Yeah, should.
But it's not what's stuck in our mind.
No.
And the problem is, the crawling, the blackout mazes, and all that stuff, and the use of squeezy passages, those were pretty much unique to them.
They were.
Other haunts had the whiteout mazes.
Right.
But they were the only ones that did those things. And since those were truly unique to that haunt,
right,
they were more memorable.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So,
and there's other memorable stuff in there.
Nobody else had the fucking bird either. Trust me. No. I checked. None of them had that bird.
No.
I am pretty sure no haunt in the country has that bird exactly like that scare word.
No, that was beautiful.
That was so good. It was so good. All right, lesson number 7.
7.
The danger of overhype.
Yeah.
All right, guys. There were several great haunts we visited that we left disappointed only because they were overhyped.
Yes.
Basically, several haunts in there, both locally and in their advertising, both like on site.
Right.
Like there's one, I actually can't remember which one it is, but they had a big sign that said, voted #1 haunt in Atlanta.
Right.
And here's the thing, it was a good haunt.
Yeah.
But you're in the same town with Netherworld, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
Exactly.
It's a awfully big boast you're making there.
It is.
I wouldn't make that boast. I'm not going to have a banner that says voted #1 in New Orleans, even if we were by some miracle. I'm not going to do that because the House of Shock, Mortuary, everything else is around here that's really, really good.
Right. They're bigger and have more money.
Yeah, they have like money and stuff. They could probably, like times our budget by 1,000. That's not the point.
Well, yeah, and make it back.
Yeah, that's the important part, isn't it?
Kind of.
But there were several haunts that went so overboard with the hype. Even though we had a good experience, like, well, they didn't murder us.
Yeah.
I'm still breathing, therefore it's not good. 3 out of 10 stars, Well, and then that's an exaggeration, obviously.
Yeah.
But it left us feeling a bit disappointed and confused.
Right.
So be careful how you market. And by the way, for the love of God, 2 haunts did this. Stop telling your customers how long the haunt is from a time standpoint.
Right.
You're always wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yes.
We've heard that, literally, we heard it from 2 on that trip, and we've heard it from many others on doing the various tours.
Right.
They're always wrong.
Yeah.
And they always oversell.
Yeah.
One haunt's like, well, it takes about an hour to get through this thing. 25 minutes later.
Yeah. We're
out the other side. We're going, where's our other 35 minutes? Meanwhile, it was a $20 haunt.
Yeah.
We got 25. We should be happy.
Yeah. Exactly.
We should be ecstatic. It's a great haunt. We had a great time. We had a good time. Everything was good.
Price point's good.
Price point was excellent. Everything's happy. Everything's in line. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. But we're pissed because we were promised an hour.
Right.
And we were braced for an hour.
Yeah.
The danger of overhype. If you sell yourself too hard, you disappoint your customers. Even if it's a good haunt.
Yes.
So watch out for that. Lesson number 8. Hey! No. The nearby haunts are not your competition.
Nope.
How many times during this trip, especially those 2 nights, well, obviously those 2 nights we were really going crazy.
Right.
Did people join us from haunt to haunt, even accidentally?
A lot.
There were several groups both nights that we spotted at every haunt we went to, or that we talked to and they were doing the same path, but in reverse.
Right, exactly.
And so, basically, what we ran into was like, we weren't the only idiots trying to squeeze in 3 haunts in a night.
No, I would say at least 6 groups. At least 6.
I know we in this industry like to think of the haunt next door as the competitor.
Right.
But they're not.
Nope.
The competitor, as I've said this before, it's the concert they could be going to that night. Yeah. It's, the burlesque show. It's the other event they could be doing.
Yeah.
It's the circus in town. It's the, you know what I mean? It's other stuff they could be doing that's not haunts.
School fairs. Church fairs.
And festivals and whatever the hell else there is. Yeah. Literally anything other than going to haunts. That's your competition.
Yeah.
That haunt next door, you can fit 2 to 3, or in our case, 4 haunts in a single night. Those haunts weren't close together either.
No.
We went traveling all over that part of Atlanta. So yeah, but think about that for a second. I mean, it wasn't just us.
Right.
I didn't expect to see any of the same people when we went to the next haunt. No. And yet there they were almost every time, at least some of the same people.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even locally, this weekend we were at Rise. Mm-hmm. Thursday we were at Rise. And the group there said, hey, what are some other haunts in the area that we can go check out?
Yeah.
Because they were doing tours of the area.
You can go to 13th Gate. You can make it there in about 45 minutes. You can go into New Orleans in about an hour and be at the mortuary of the House of Shock. You can... Yeah. And they went.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think that's one of the things we need to stop doing is there's this tendency to say, oh, you can't open a haunt too close to me. Right. No, encourage it.
Yeah.
Because when people see there's like 3 haunts in one area,
yes,
they're going, that's the destination for haunted houses.
Right. That's what we do when we're looking for planning our next year's trip.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now is we are looking at who has the most populated area of haunts.
Yeah.
In a small region that we can get to really quickly.
Yeah, you want to know how we chose our Saturday haunts? I'll tell you, we did it via Google Maps, and I think we mentioned this in one of the earlier the haunted podcast we did with hauntedillinois.com. We did a Google map with a layer for each night they were open. We looked at where the haunts were clustered, and we said there's one haunt we definitely wanted to go to, and like 3 others around it. That's our target.
Yep, exactly.
Other people obviously think, I thought we were freaks, but I learned that...
Sorry.
We're just trying to get ahead. We literally knocked over one of our heads.
Yeah.
I'm not actually kidding. Haunt season!
Yeah.
Sorry for the big boom on the mic. Alright, lesson number 9 as we wrap this up. We have 2 more lessons. Focus on your front of house experience. For the love of God, people.
Yeah.
Make sure that people can easily find your haunt. Here's a tip. Give some random person you've never met in your life instructions to find your haunt via Apple Maps or Google Maps or MapQuest. I don't know what the hell else there is right now. You tell me.
Yeah. Give them something.
Mapasia or what? I don't know. Mapaphasia or whatever. Give them that and have them find your haunt.
Yeah.
And tell them and have them tell you about that experience. There were a few haunts that even with GPS we struggled to find.
Right.
One took us to like a VFW armory or something. It was kind of weird. Have very clear signage on the way. By the way, if you're in the Atlanta area, the haunt to mimic, Camp Blood.
Yeah.
They are a haunt way out in the middle of goddamn nowhere. But every turn you took to get there was clearly marked.
With giant lighted
signs. Oh,
lighted.
Beautiful. Oh, lighted, yes. Beautiful lighted signs. Oh my God, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Despite the fact I was literally going to the middle of nowhere, I never felt lost.
Right.
It was so wonderful. Yeah. Basically, make sure people can find your haunt. And when they do get there, obviously, we all know to put your best actors front of house. That's just a thing we do. But some haunts obviously didn't figure that out.
Yeah.
And some haunts basically had nothing waiting for us outside while we waited in line.
Right.
It can make a huge difference because I remember like at 13 Stories was one that was real. They had the very bizarre queue system where you send a text and you get an alert and you go in. It's kind of weird. I'm not getting into it, but they had a football game on. I don't remember who was playing. It was Sunday. It was Sunday Night Football. I don't remember who was playing. Didn't really care, but we're sitting there. We're standing by the door. And one of the actors comes. You were, I think, inside using the restroom or something else. And one of the actors comes up to me, and, like, folds his arms across, and goes, "What are we doing?" Watching the football game. Football.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting there. And we have this because I know nothing about football.
Yeah.
I know less about football than I do haunting.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a good actor. I liked him.
He was a lot of fun, and he's sitting when it was time to go in. I was smiling.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't sitting there annoyed that I had waited 15 minutes or whatever, 20 minutes or whatever to get inside. I was happy.
Yeah.
I was smiling. I was laughing. It's a huge difference. It puts me in the right frame of mind to go into the haunt and have a good time.
Right.
It's a big difference. So focus on that. Because, waiting in line sucks. Those actors make it suck significantly less and can even make it a positive part of the experience.
Yes.
That's something that really shined through on this. And lesson 10, wrap it up here. Different areas, obviously different rules.
Right.
We saw a lot of stuff in Atlanta in general that I know for certain would not be allowed in Southeast Louisiana.
Right.
In terms of fire code compliance or ADA compliance, it just would not happen. Lots of super narrow hallways, sloped floors, things like that I have talked to. Like, I know, a good example, actually, is I know the House of Shock had sloped floors at one point and were forced to get rid of them. Things like that, or at least that's what I was told.
Yeah.
I don't know that for certain, actually. I didn't actually ask, Ross about that, but... But I know I'd heard that they were told to get rid of it for fire code reasons.
Right. No,
but then again, they're in Jefferson. They get ridden pretty hard on fire code stuff, and we know that. We do know that.
Yeah.
With great reliability.
Yeah, from both of the haunts over there.
Yeah, both of the haunts in that area. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of the things we saw in Atlanta would not be allowed in New Orleans, and it was very, very interesting. I would love to get, some New Orleans haunters and some Atlanta haunters on this podcast to talk about the differences in the fire code issues they face.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Because I know there are differences. I can tell by going through the haunts there are differences.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, like the mortuary, we talked about them previously, about how in their escape rooms, they had to have giant pneumatic pressurized emergency open doors.
Right.
Which is A, crazy.
Yes.
And B,
you could just tell people not to open the door.
Yeah.
But apparently the fire code wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's bananas.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to have this giant pneumatic monstrosity at every escape door. It's weird. But yeah, I would love to have that conversation take place, because I know it takes place at like Transworld and HauntCon and so forth. But I would love to have it take place where it's recorded.
Right.
Because when it does take place, it's usually like either in line at haunts that people are visiting, in bars around haunted attraction conventions.
Yeah.
And just anywhere else that there's like not a microphone. So yeah, I'd be very curious to get the two sides to talk about it. There's a lot to hash there. So yeah, all in all, it was a very, very good trip. We saw a lot of great haunts. Had a great time. Learned a great deal about haunting. I think was exposed to a lot of new ideas.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Some new styles of haunting, even, that I had not considered. Like some haunts, in fact, I think it was Containment, did a very interesting hybrid between scene-based and free roam. Mm-hmm. Where the actors would do scenes and acting out. You're like walking along, and they're acting out a scene.
Right.
Like walking backwards. It's like, hey, how do you not bust your ass like 20 times a night?
Because you get to know your haunt.
I know, you know your room.
Yeah.
And you
how many steps was it?
It was an eight and a half steps between the beginning and the end of the closet. 12 before the end of the. Yes, I know, I get it. Mm-hmm. I've done it, but still, it's impressive. But still, we saw a lot of very new, very interesting, very exciting things. Atlanta, you were very kind to us. Other than your traffic, you were very, very kind to us.
Well,
other than your traffic, and apparently we also showed up on the day the Szechuan sauce was at McDonald's.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny, because our hotel, I think, did we talk about this? I don't remember, but we were like leaving the hotel, and like our hotel was on a hill above a McDonald's, and there was a line at the McDonald's.
All the way out to the road.
Insane.
Yeah.
And Chris was like, what's going on at McDonald's? And I'm thinking, wait, it's today? Oh, Szechuan sauce day.
Gotcha.
I totally forgot about that. And I am a Rick and Morty fan, and I'm not ashamed of it.
No.
But apparently you're not supposed to be a Rick and Morty fan. I just don't go around yelling pickle Rick, except when it's actually appropriate and relevant.
Yeah.
Like when I'm holding a pickle jar to Walmart's. That's not a good time to do it either. Okay. But anyways,
when you're dressed as a guy that dressed up in cosplay as Pickle Rick, he can yell Pickle Rick
anytime.
Yes.
But anyways, all in all, it was a great, great trip. We had a wonderful time. Atlanta, you were so kind to us. You taught us a great deal. So once again, just a few reminders. I know it's been a long 50 minutes or so. Once again, at 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Mountain, 2 p.m. Pacific, on Sunday, October 29th, we are doing the 100th episode, and we're doing it live on YouTube at tinyurl.com/hauntweekly. Subscribe to the channel so you will receive notifications, and be sure to click that little bell icon if you do to make sure you get the notification.
Yep.
We'll be going live, we'll be taking your questions, and we'll be talking about what Halloween means to us, and whatever you guys want to talk about. Seriously, This episode's thrown to you guys.
Yes.
If none of you show up, we understand it's the busy season, we won't take it personal.
Nope.
Well, maybe we'll try it again later when it's not the busy season.
Maybe.
But if none of you show up, it's fine, and we'll do the what Halloween means to us thing. But if you do show up, hey, you can steer the episode completely. You can ask us questions. You can make us do tricks for you. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, beyond that, do follow us on Facebook at Haunt Weekly. Follow us on Twitter, once again, at Haunt Weekly. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this has been Haunt Weekly, episode number 99. 10 lessons, specifically, from our Atlanta trip. We will see you guys next time for a live recording of Haunt Weekly.